two people with a gravitational pull are in the building today. The current active leader in Division I women's college basketball scoring, Juju Watkins. The all-time Division I college basketball scoring leader, Caitlin Clark, walking in to Carver Hawkeye Arena, the center of the college basketball world today. Two cornerstone programs in college basketball. USC, first year in the Big Ten, on the road, an absolutely jam-packed Iowa City. Caitlin Clark made her mark on this program, very literally, as of today, on the parquet, just outside of the Hawkeye logo. She'll always be remembered on the floor and in the rafters come post-game today. We are so happy to have you along. Jason Benetti, Christy Winters-Scott. You've seen Caitlin Clark play so much in your career, her career. What does this day mean?
Well, Caitlin Clark not only exemplifies what it means to be a star, she wants all of the responsibility of that. 45 Division I records she holds, but also she has a hold on this Iowa City community as well.
Juju Watkins has that same hold in Los Angeles, doesn't she?
Absolutely. Her freshman season, she broke the scoring record in women's basketball with 920 points. This season, she has eclipsed the 1,000-point mark. The only other player to do that in 38 games was Elena Deladon. Juju Watkins is the real deal.
Starting lineups powered by Ram trucks, built to serve. She is in the starting lineup, and so is Rhea Marshall, back after not playing in the game against Minnesota on Thursday. Hannah Stolke is a big return for Iowa a couple of games ago. She is there once again with Lucy Olson, who is the leading scorer for this team. Kevin Pethel, Nikesha Thompson, Doug Knight are your officials. The post-game ceremony in about 2 hours, but first, high-level college basketball in a sold-out crowd. The students were here as of 7:30 this morning to get in.
They were lined up outside. The energy obviously palpable.
So much gold in this building, meant for the Iowa Hawkeyes, but USC, one of the best programs in the country, Kiki Iriafen the miss, and the rebound for a falter.
Well, you saw Iowa start the game in the zone. They're going to mix up their defensive schemes. That was a 2-3 to kind of crowd that space.
A sweeping shot off the front iron from Olsen. Such a big first 4 minutes or so to get this crowd into it, don't you think?
Yeah, no question about it.
Lindsey Gottlieb's team, you heard Allison and Kim talk about it. They haven't lost since around Thanksgiving to Notre Dame. Her 4th season, this is her best team, and they are hoping to get back to that national title era they had in the 80s.
Well, they're sitting at 19-1 right now, number 4 in the country. And what they have done well, you talk about their offensive prowess, it has been their defensive efforts and discipline that has really been a bright light for their team so far this season.
They're only allowing 55 points a game. Juju, an air ball, and she's going to hear about that. Jan Jensen, in her first year as the head coach, a longtime assistant of Lisa Bluter, who is here, the longtime head coach. And Jan Jensen knew of Caitlin Clark as of about 7th grade when they started recruiting her.
Yes, and she was ice skating her way through every defensive scheme, just like she did here in an Iowa uniform and currently in an Indiana Fever uniform. The head coach for the Indiana Fever, Stephanie White, is also in the building with the Indiana Fever brass, who have made a lot of really solid moves in the free agency landscape in the WNBA.
Trying to build around and build a championship program. Pretty good first choice in the draft as well.
No doubt.
Hannah Stolke digging down low. That's rejected downstairs by Rhea Marshall.
Yeah, Rhea Marshall, she is long, lanky, and has great anticipation skills.
So does Stolke. That's a steal for Iowa. Transition so important in this game. Stolke to the corner. Got it to McCabe for 3. She's 1 from 100 in her Iowa career from 3 now. This answer for Von Oelhoffen, no good. Iriafen traveled.
Well, when you are trying to post up, you got to show the ball, sell it, and then get into the chest of the defender. If you take it straight up, you're going to get it blocked. But then get a piece of the paint, get a spray out opportunity, and now you can roll with your defense. Taylor McCabe did not score against Northwestern on Tuesday, 0 for 3 from the floor, and came out and knocked in her first bucket from the corner pocket.
And this crowd is absolutely wired with every play right now. Iriafen and USC on the move. It's taken away from Kennedy Smith. Olsen tees it up. That's no good.
I was speaking with Sydney Falter after shoot-around this morning, and she said our defensive transition has to be all point. USC wants to get it and go.
Like that. Kennedy Smith will go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
She also said we have to wall up the interior. They want to attack the paint. It's not just the post players. And USC head coach Lindsey Gottlieb, after practice yesterday, said the same thing. Like, we want to score in the paint. We want to have an advantage there. But at the same time, it's not just feed the ball inside to our post players. We want to get a piece of the paint with straight line drives to the rack.
Kennedy Smith, who's dealt with some injuries this year, she took a spill yesterday in practice. Free throw no good. Only 21 free throw attempts all year for Kennedy Smith, which is a little surprising.
I love her energy and her motor. Cannot measure that. And she has come ready to play at this level, and that's not easy to say for a lot of freshmen.
Yeah, how hard is it for USC with the travel and then this crowd as well in your face?
Well, you just have to stay locked in and stay in the moment, and that's what Lindsey Gottlieb said. We're ready for this moment. And yes, it is an event for Caitlin Clark, but during the 40 minutes, it's going to be about the game.
Stokey, the miss. Offensive rebound for Olsen to whip it up top, and that's no good for McCabe. A third chance, a reload. McCabe misses. A fourth try, Hannah Stokey, another rebound. That's another three, a Falter, it falls. Could be one of those days for a road team.
There was a travel there.
So did the crowd. Iowa will take the transition opportunity. A Falter slicing in. And she is fouled.
And when you can get 3 or 4 opportunities from your offensive rebounding, third time's the charm from 3. Sydney Falter gets that one to swirl home for the home team.
Her 17th this year. She had an enormous game earlier in the rivalry against Iowa State, a season-high 16.
And she is in the top 20 in the Big Ten in rebounding percentage. Sydney Falter has a machine of her own, but on that last possession for Iowa, it was Hannah Stokey with 2 offensive boards.
Driving hard for 2, and it's 8-1 Iowa. They are right in Juju Watkins' pocket, and we get a foul against Feuerbach.
Juju Watkins trying to free herself, but on the previous possession, a nice little entry, fakes the handoff there. No DHO needed. Take it right to the cup. Look at Hannah Stokey getting herself situated with her strength and energy in the paint.
Doesn't Penn State know it if anybody from that program's watching after the 47 she hung up on him last year?
Yeah, that was an amazing game. I was on that game, and she was just so fluid.
Offensive foul away from the ball, and Lindsey Gottlieb is incredulous. It's on Kaylee Heckel.
Now, to the dismay, right? That just takes away from the rhythm and cadence on the offensive end.
How do you find that rhythm if you're USC right now?
You have to take care of the basketball. But right now, Iowa's doing a good job of being disruptive defensively and trying to speed USC up in terms of making quick decisions.
McCabe, number 100 in her Iowa career. Powder keg doesn't begin to describe it. They're halfway to 22 already. Fox College Hoops is sponsored by Dove Body Wash. 24-hour lotion soft skin, now from your body wash. Big Ten College Hoops is powered by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Carver Hawkeye Arena is filled to the brim. That is the very top of this arena, and Iowa has a 10-point lead in this snake pit so far. And for USC, our Shark Beauty USC season look back. Juju Watkins comes in here 1,000 points plus already in her 38th career game. The only loss to Notre Dame, November the 23rd by 13. Everybody's lost to Notre Dame so far this year, but they've won now 15 in a row, their longest streak since the heyday of this program. And boy, March the 1st when USC and UCLA get together, that is going to be nuts as well. They are the only two unbeatens left in this league, a very deep basketball league.
Yeah, no question about it. You have 5 teams in the top 25 in the Big Ten, and you're looking at UCLA sitting at number 1 in the country. But right now, 9-0 in conference play is USC.
See Juju Watkins so stoic, and then she just electrifies in the middle of the game.
Yeah, she'll lull you to sleep and then put you to sleep.
She missed that one. Iriafen got boxed out by Stolke. She didn't want to pick up her second foul there, Iriafen.
Smart. And then right now, USC, they have 4 turnovers, and Iowa, they have manufactured 6 points off of those. So that is a major key to their 11-1 lead at the moment.
Yeah, huge so far in the break. Guyton looking for the paint. Nice cut and a turnover. Feuerbach found some room but couldn't do anything with it.
Well, that's something else that Sydney Falter shared with me prior to the game. Got to move without the basketball.
Absolutely. There is Caitlin Clark. She typically gets pretty good seats here now. McCaffrey joining her.
No, I love it. I love that she's in the building, and Lisa Bluder walked into a standing ovation as well today.
Lisa Bluder escorted by David Letterman into the building. They've become friends at a Fever game earlier this year. They sat next to each other and struck up a friendship.
I love it. He's sitting courtside on the baseline right next to Lisa Bluder.
This is a star-studded event today.
You can't pick up your dribble against USC. They're going to suffocate you and force you to throw it away.
This shot brought to you by Crystal Clear Party Ice, one of David Letterman's former fake sponsorships. He, one of the most hilarious people of all time.
The sarcasm of the humor is top tier.
That fadeaway jump is good for Lucy Olson, and it's a 12-point lead.
Lucy Olson, she is a mid-range menace. She can pull up from anywhere.
A block called, and the crowd is displeased. It's on Feuerbach. That's her second.
Jan Jensen not excited about the contact made with the forearm, but on that previous possession, Lucy Olson just gets the separation necessary and gets that mid-range runner to go. And she is just so tough to stop because she has been able to not only score the ball well, she had 6 assists against Northwestern in the last game, so she's an initiator and the producer of offense for the team.
If I'm reading lips correctly, I think Jan Jensen just said something about fertilizer, and you know it. This is a tie-up, and it's going to Iowa.
Fertilizer.
That's what I saw.
Thought you said. Okay. What you thought you saw.
On the fringe.
I saw something different. But they get the ball back, so that's a good thing. And let's see if they can manufacture some stability here on the offensive end. And you do that with poise. Get some nice screening action. There's a horn set here. They try to get a fade screen, re-screen there by Stolke up top.
Guyton step aside. She bags it. AJ's daughter has caffeinated the crowd more than they already were. Watkins can't score, and a rebound whistle against Iriafen, and that's her second personal. This is a dance club now. All they're missing is a strobe light.
Yeah, absolutely. You said AJ's daughter, her mom, AJ, played in the WNBA, but also on the Brazilian national team. So she gets it honestly.
Oh, both tremendous players. One more. No. Rebound tipped out of bounds, and it will go USC's way.
Just really great energy. USC, 1 point right now, 16-1. Yes, the shots are falling, but how about the gap discipline on the defensive end by Iowa to disallow USC to get into any kind of rhythm or flow?
What are the answers for the Trojans, Christy?
Well, they're going to have to get the ball inside. And they're going to have to do it by getting some screens. They're in a horn set right here, so they're going to get strong side lane line extended entry here. They can't settle for those kinds of shots. They've got to make Iowa work, get them into rotation, and then attack it.
We're 6.5 minutes in. USC scores about 84 points a game. They are 83 short of that.
Well, yes.
Near takeaway again. Heckle ends up with it.
Let's see if they try to do something differently. They have Juju Watkins off the ball here in the corner.
Nothing there for Avery Howell, the freshman. This crowd rising with every defensive stonewall, and that's short. Offensive rebound. Smith cannot make it either.
Yeah, that was probably the easiest opportunity that Smith would have probably all afternoon. He just overshot that one.
A falter is tipped out of bounds to USC.
Just really solid energy, but you can see Iowa, they like to run a motion offense, but they also like to get you in some ball screens and get you mixed up. But when you're looking at what USC does defensively, they switch 1 to 4. And Iowa has tried to manufacture some offense off of that.
Hard cut down low. Marshall way too strong. This is a wow right now.
Yeah, just incredible.
It's a three. It's gotten. It's an air ball. Weak side rebound out of bounds to USC. Iowa smoking for 3.
Well, the three-point shots are falling from range for the home team in a dramatic fashion. That one went around 3 times for good measure. But Iowa lighting it up from the exterior. They shoot 34% from 3 on the season. Look at Guyton with those fanciful handles.
That was a seated dribble after a steal. Ridiculous.
I love it. Any means necessary to save the possession.
All day long. Olsen for 2. It's a 17-point lead. USC right now is in a maze with no exit.
Yeah. That's that defense.
Watkins missed it.
I mean, they're settling for contested shots, right? And she's made those plenty of times.
Pressure building. Stremlo tracks it down. No good for a falter. Maybe transition will open up here off the miss. The answer's no. Watkins lost it.
Those deflections is taking away everything.
Oh, what a cut and what a rejection by Kennedy Smith on a falter.
Yeah, nice read there. Kept her body away from a falter. Kept her principle of verticality and denied it.
Howell no dice. One and done again for USC. 9 minutes, 1 point. Airlock defense.
And I think that is the key as well. No second or third chance opportunities for USC so far in this first quarter.
They out-rebound teams by 10 a game. Let's go Hawks, raining down. Guyton thought about it. 5 to shoot. It's a falter. No good, O'Grady. Juju Watkins with a deep breath and a slow trot and a pull-up. She needed it, and so did her team.
The only field goal in the first quarter happens at this juncture. Incredible defense by Iowa in this game.
Just a drizzle of momentum. The door creaks open slightly, but all Iowa on Caitlin Clark jersey retirement day.
Amazing.
Olsen out of bounds to USC.
There has just been stifling defense by Iowa out of the gates. They are on a complete string. There have been no lapses in terms of their rotation. They're playing tough up the line, which means if I drew a line underneath the basket, they are splitting the court in half and keeping USC on one side of it and settling for one shot.
Juju, no. Well, very fittingly, the total points add up to 22.
How about that for synergy?
After one quarter. She still looks like she could want to play for the Hawkeyes. That fierce look in her eye, and her team up by 14. Northern Iowa was in town November 25th, 2020. The announced crowd was 365 because it was COVID. Basically, cardboard cutouts and a few friends and family and staff saw Caitlin Clark's debut. 27 points, 4 assists, 8 rebounds. Little did we know at the time that then, when her jersey was retired, 15,600 more people would be here.
How about that? Just incredible. I remember her freshman year, and they beat Iowa State. They doused her with water in the locker room, and I'm like, who is this young freshman? And now we know.
And now we know her by name, by face, by energy. It's going down live at the Big Easy. Caitlin will be watching, certainly. The NFL on Fox team hosts America's Super Bowl party. Performances by John Batiste and the to-be red carpet with Olivia Culpo. Super Bowl 59 pregame show live at 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox and streaming on Tubi. Caitlin Clark, you've seen the photo circulated, right? Huge Kansas City Chiefs fan. She has like the whole KC garb and a high-level Kansas City Chiefs fan.
Yeah, for sure.
Her team.
Taylor Swift also fan?
Taylor Swift fan, yeah. I mean, two worlds collided when they were watching the conference championship game together. 18-4, Iowa with the lead. Can USC find its way here? We've seen them come back at points this season from tough starts. That won't fall for Rhea Marshall, and secured by a falter.
You can see the intentionality for USC right out of the break right there, going straight downstairs into the paint. And then Marshall, a little too extracurricular down there with the contact on Hannah Stolke. Stolke trying to size up the defense here and got bumped off her spot.
It's a good call, right?
Yeah, absolutely. She was displaced. And this USC team, they are top 8 in the country with their field goal percentage defense, and that's what Iowa has been able to dissect.
3-second call, and speaking of that, they have the largest scoring margin in the country. So what Jan Jensen is doing, keeping a team that's plus 28 points per game to 4 is otherworldly.
Absolutely, and they only hold their opponents to shoot 35% from the floor. So Iowa obliterated that in the first quarter alone.
It is the lowest scoring first quarter by far for USC. Lowest scoring quarter at all. Von Oelhoffen, too strong. Rebound Marshall.
The previous low was 10 earlier this year in one quarter.
That was against Notre Dame, and we get a turnover on 3 seconds the other way. You can go weeks without seeing a 3-second call, 2 in 2 possessions.
Well, that's why you can't kill your dribble. And that's why you can't leave your teammates on an island, right? If they are walled up, they don't have a play to make, you can't stand there and look at them. Oh, look, they're under duress. Move and get into their eyesight so they can have a relief point.
Well, USC, you know, it's not even that they look necessarily sped up, but the possessions have not gone the way they've wanted. How do you find an answer when you have a star like Juju Watkins in the team game?
It's almost like when you play pickup. You're not running plays when you're playing pickup. So they're taking away the first and second actions in their offense, and then they're getting stuck. So now just set some ball screens, set some off-ball screens, but moves. And I think that is the overall key. It doesn't have to be within a system, an offensive play, but you have to move yourself.
Stolke, oh, what positioning to set up Guyton. That's faded left. Boy, Stolke in 3 gold jerseys found a way to get a fingertip on it.
He is something else in there and just playing a different role for Iowa this year. Iowa making 2 championship game appearances the last 2 years.
Turnover again, number 9 for USC.
9 turnovers, 11 points have been scored off of those turnovers by Iowa. So a really huge percentage of their offense clearly has been produced by their offensive awareness.
Usually USC just wears people out in transition. Stokey in the area, who went vertical. Great defense.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a tough look.
Juju takes a spill, somehow scoops it away from Marshall. Iowa defense everywhere on the lob. Iriafen taken away. And a foul as Olsen was hounded by Samuels. Look at the smiles on the Hawkeye faces right now.
Just really good loose defense on the post. See, Iriafen was down in there. She was trying to connect with the body, trying to get that lob. And then once you release that, now she's kind of lost in the sauce. She doesn't know how to connect with that seal, and that's great defense. You're supposed to stay loose and not give that contact to the offensive player down there.
She almost got turned into a defensive back, trying to trap a football, you know?
If she had caught that, she would have been under the basket, so it wouldn't have been a viable opportunity or an easy opportunity.
Whistle it down low, Stokey, deep for 2.
Oh my goodness. What a powerful move right there by Hannah Stokey. She will not be denied in there.
Iriafen, no. Lucy Olsen on skates to the rim and got it away. It's McCabe to load up and bag her 3rd. As loud as a venue can get. To the corner it goes. Picked back up by USC, batted away for the moment. Down low, Iriafen left it short. She is fouled and it rolled off.
Well, Iowa's offense has been on a string. Getting the ball down inside to Hannah Stokey has been paramount, and she has been solid with her return. And look at the passion. She understands the assignment. She knew she's undersized in there, but her heart is huge. The extra passes being made, giving the good for the great looks. That has been amazing for Iowa. They've been able to knock in those triple tries. They average 18 assists on the season. And that's nothing new for Iowa. They usually average around 20, 21 assists to lead the country the last couple of seasons. But Caitlin Clark was also not only leading in scoring, but leading in assist as well.
4 straight years she led the Big Ten in scoring and assists.
Absolutely.
Second foul shot is good.
I think that gets lost in it sometimes because you understand the scoring prowess that Caitlin Clark possessed. But she set the table for her team in a magnificent way on a consistent basis and efficient basis.
She set the foundation in play and for moments like this in the future. Tip ball and Iriafen the rebound. Samuels on the dribble. Malay to defense, and she walled her off to the end line.
Taylor McCabe has had a sensational first half so far. 3 threes have gone down for Taylor McCabe. 44% on the season from number 2. She has just been incredible. And they are continuing to find her on those extra passes being made, the swing opportunities in the quarter court. And she's ready in her shot pocket to rise and fire and knock it home.
The first ever guard in Class A in Nebraska with over 2,000 points in her high school career. Olsen, step back, just a little short. Rebound for Juju Watkins. USC trailing by 17, but you never know. Her pull-up is no good, and a rebound for Akunwafo. She's fouled.
Hannah Stokey a little slow to regroup and recalibrate under there, but just 6 points right now for USC. And those quick shots, and I know Juju Watkins can make that shot. We've seen her make that time and time again. I mean, she's over the 1,000-point mark in 38 games. The only other player to do that was Elena Deladon at Delaware years ago.
Really a 5-second call, just a rainbow.
It was out of her hands at 4.9, it seemed.
Offensive rebound try ends up with Iriafen, and she is fouled. Crowd does not love the call, and neither does the head coach. They are supporting. It's 2 on Mulaney.
Well, you have to make contact down in there, and I think that's the real key. USC does have a height advantage inside, so if they can get to the ball quicker because of that, you've really got to make sure that you're into the body so they make that call.
Kiki Iriafen to the free throw line, and she's 3 for 3. The book on Kiki.
Well, you know what Kiki is going to bring to the table, right? I believe that she's underrated. She's a great two-man complement to Juju, and she gets the job done on the glass. And I think we need to talk about her a little bit more with all the other things that she does. And she's a stalwart on defense. USC averages 7 blocks as a team, and she's a big reason for that.
With a foul on the scramble. O'Grady hit the ground. And talking to both of them earlier this year before the UConn game, there's an understanding that Kiki does take some of the pressure off Juju. She feels like that's her role as well, to kind of ease the burden off of the star Juju Watkins. Kiki, a star in her own right.
Oh, no question about it. When they're on the same side of the floor, which they most often find themselves, you have to pick your poison in terms of how you're going to cover them and what kind of reads you're going to make defensively when they're on the same side of the court.
Iowa ball off the foul. And it goes out to McCabe. She misses. USC has a little extra bounce in its step now. Juju the 5, and an easy 2 down low for Akunwafo.
Well, that's the kind of flow that USC needs to get themselves going offensively. It's pace of play, but you got to get the stops necessary to do that.
Quick 6-0 run. It's a 13-point game. A falter for O'Grady, and she'll go to the free throw line. That's a nice thread through from Sydney Falter, but USC has a little push going.
They absolutely do. They have pace, they have space, and they have dimes dropping to the weak side by Juju.
Thank you so much. If you just joined us, Caitlin Clark jersey retirement postgame. Iowa's largest lead of 19 in this game, as our Shark Beauty season look back for Iowa begins with Iowa starting very strong, winners of 8 games in a row to open the year, and then the inaugural Shark Beauty Women's Champions Classic. They lose to Tennessee, a very strong team out of the SEC. They've won the last 2 after a 5-game losing streak. And having Hannah Stolke back has certainly been important for Iowa.
You know, absolutely. They were missing her services with the boards.
Now she's back into her huddle with Jan Jensen, the head coach for Iowa.
Too aggressive on crashes. Transition is what they score in. We got to send it back unless you know you're going to get it. Get back to that transition D, right? Box outs. That's the thing. We were boxing out, and now we've given them up. You got to turn and make her feel it. He said there was no contact. She reached over because you didn't hit her.
Good insight from the official, and you said it, Christy, a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, you have to box out. You have to maintain your contact. It's not good enough just to have one little initial bump. You have to maintain that, so they make that call. But you're looking at what USC has come into this game with in terms of their pace of play. They're attempting 6.5 more shots a game than opponents this season due to that +10 rebounding advantage. That's 10th nationally, by the way. So you have to do your due diligence with the basics and the fundamentals, and that's maintain that contact in there on that glass.
It's a 6 rebound advantage right now. They're +4 on the offensive glass so far, USC, and that's why they're even hanging around at 2 for 22 from the floor.
Wow. And just some staunch defense. Look at Iowa right here, mixing it up, sticking with that zone right there in rotation.
Oh, that is just filthy from Juju.
She attacked that second line of defense with aggression and force. Well, Juju Watkins right here is going to make the read, beat the primary defender, get downhill, and that little slide of the hip, that's what got her the and one inside. She got the defender off balance and got into the body.
The neat through line between Juju Watkins and Caitlin Clark, two phenomenal players, is they both stayed home to build a community. Juju in Los Angeles, where her family has a long-time foothold of building neighborhood. And Caitlin Clark here, tipped away by Heckle, and 10 seconds.
We'll see when USC can establish their defense after made shots, then that's better for them clearly. They can get a piece of it. They can get into their 2-2-1, three-quarter court pressure and get the necessary stops to rebuild their offense. But going to your point, yes, they did both stay home, and Lindsay Gottlieb, she said, the only person who can identify with Caitlin Clark's run is Juju.
That three won't fall. It's a Falter clearing the rebound.
Juju Watkins' name has been synonymous with women's basketball. This is her second season. A lot of people think she's a junior or a senior. I'm like, no, she was a sophomore. She just had a phenomenal freshman campaign with those 920 points, a record for freshmen in the women's college basketball.
A pass tip taken away by Howell. The active leading scorer in all of college basketball. Juju Watkins, USC within 11 suddenly. Heckle had a notion. Now she'll split the lane and miss.
But I like the idea of USC getting downhill and putting pressure on the rim, trying to get Iowa to bite.
Dayton got to the foul line. Too strong. Rebound for Iowa and Stokey.
Like bees to honey, Hannah Stokey is right on the basketball, and she is magnetic.
So tough down there. A Falter had it taken away. Kennedy Smith blitzing into the front court. She scores. It's a 9-point game, and we get a foul on the floor.
You see Jan Jensen calling for a timeout there for Iowa, but got to take good care of the basketball. You have to come and meet it first. But you see Kennedy Smith right there getting a piece of the body, and I think it was opposite of that.
It was away on the weak side, so USC will have it when we come back. It's a 9-point game now. Saturday on Fox Primetime Hoops, a top 10 women's college basketball showdown. Number 8 Ohio State takes on this very same USC side of the 4th-ranked Trojans. 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, only on Fox. So USC suddenly within 9. The foul, remember, was after the basket. So USC is going to have the ball. They get 2 and a possession. As we take a look at our stat comparison, powered by Ram Trucks, built to serve. USC shooting 15%, but now within double figures at 9, within a single digit.
Yeah, they've only cracked the code from range one time. So credit Iowa's defense for making things difficult, but Jen Jensen, she said that. She was like, we have to be disruptive. We have to show different defensive looks. We have to keep them on their toes. We have to blitz, which is sending 2 to the basketball, and rotate hard out of that. And they have done a magnificent job with their defensive execution in this first half.
That was the 5th foul. It's 2 free throws for Juju Watkins. Again, she had the slow start against Minnesota and eventually scored 20 points. USC a slow start today. If they're sneaking back into this, it's a 7-point game.
And they have done it with their defense, but they have to score. Like I said, now it's a 1-2-2 look by USC.
Watkins a near steal, and they do get it. Taken away by Avery Howell. Von Oelhoffen didn't take the early 3. They'll play it through Watkins.
I thought she had Marshall downstairs. She had a front post up.
Juju rattled it out. Offensive rebound and a putback for Marshall.
Graham Marshall said, listen, I'm going to get my own touch. I'm not going to send it in on an entry pass. I'll get my own.
15-1 run. Here's the defense again. Smith to Watkins. A step through for 2. It's a 17-1 run for USC, storming back.
Well, Rhea Marshall was posting up, didn't get a touchdown there. Juju Watkins just rattles that one out. And Marshall said, that's all right. I'm going to clean it up, get the loose change out of the couch and catch that in. And then Juju Watkins slithers her way, so calm, cool, and collected with it, and gets a deuce right there inside the paint. So they've gotten back into this game because of their defense, but they've needed their offense to get back and structure their defense the way that they need to in the open floor. That 1-2-2 press, they're taking away the middle, and the rule is you have 2 on the ball, you have 2 people 1 pass away, and a safety. And that has been executed nicely by USC in this 1-2-2 setup here.
Where's the answer to this pressure for Iowa? What can they do?
Well, they've got to get the ball to the middle like this, exactly that.
Yep. Guyton, the free lane, and then she was denied by Juju, stalks her at the arc.
Well, Guyton was the inbounder, so she threw it in and then took a dart cut up the middle of the floor. That's what you want to do to relieve that pressure.
Olsen drew the foul. That is a bailout big time.
Just stay disciplined. She was leaning back. Lucy Olsen very crafty with her offensive shot selection decisions. She could do so many things. Her scoring is down this season with Iowa compared to what she was doing at Villanova. But she needs to be another player who can apply pressure with her straight line drives.
Let's take a look at the book on the honorable mention All-American last year at Nova.
She's the Big East leading scorer, 3rd nationally with 23 points per game. She's a menace in the mid-range. She loves to slide left and get that mid-range pull-up to go. And I think she's an underrated rebounder from the perimeter. I mean, she's long and lengthy, but she's also active when it comes to getting those long rebounds and becoming an initiator for Iowa.
4-point game suddenly. Nice dunk in, and Watkins is hammered. She'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots, and Stolke just picked up her 2nd foul.
USC has been able to manufacture some extra offensive prowess right here. Juju Watkins getting up and trying to get that shot to go, was tagged by Hannah Stolke as the airborne shooter.
She might have to sit for a $153 here with 2 fouls.
And that's smart, because they're going to need her on the court.
There's a great story in the Daily Trojan last year, the student newspaper at USC, about the family lineage of Juju Watkins and Ted Watkins Park in Watts, and her great-grandfather being such a community organizer, and his slogan was "Don't move, improve." Stay home, build your community, as Juju Watkins has in Los Angeles. Caitlin Clark, the same deal here in Iowa, being from West Des Moines.
So they're inspiring more than just student athletes. They're inspiring people in the community and giving them hope.
Falter had to juggle it a little bit. It was out of the shooting pocket, and the rebound for USC. The Trojans, who were down 18-4 at the end of 1, can tie with a 2. Von Oelhoffen, the wraparound, is intercepted, and a foul, and a needless one from Avery Howell.
Avery Howell trying to corral that one and got a piece of the arm in that attempt. Well, let's see if Iowa can get recalibrated on the offensive end, right? They've had some empty possessions on this side. And now with Stolke being out for the remainder probably of this first half, they'll find a way to get some easier looks.
And do enough glass work to keep USC away from second chances. Free throw sits down for the senior out of Chicago, Sydney Falter. There is Stolke, who's been so important to this team through her career, a junior from Cedar Rapids.
I love the aggressiveness from Sydney Falter, just the X factor for her team in terms of leadership. Zone again by Iowa.
USC 1 for 10 from 3. Juju wants it, she's got it. Making her move on a Falter, who stays with her. Tough shot, no good. Strong defense by a Falter.
And that's what Sydney Falter said. Hey, she can't have any clean looks. All of her shots need to be contested. It's either no shots or tough shots for Juju Watkins today.
That was a very tough shot. High level of difficulty. Under a minute to go. First half. Olsen. She does not care about the level of difficulty on a shot.
But like I said, she likes to pull up left. Once you dribble to the left, pull up. That's her wheelhouse.
And Juju just created a foul against Olsen. Her second.
Hey, it's been some good juju for USC, and the comeback on the road here in Iowa. She's been able to get things activated offensively, putting pressure on the second line of defense, attacking the cup, and showing some passion there for her team. Only a sophomore, but she leads by example and passion. And her mom still does her hair, she said. She didn't want to. The documentary with Caitlin Clark and Juju Watkins, just an inside look on who they are. And there's Juju's family there. See the jerseys, the t-shirts. This is really cute to see the underbelly of their journeys.
Yep.
Respectively, and just how close-knit they are with their families.
There are two USC fans right behind us. I walked up to them and said, "Are you from Los Angeles?" They said, "Yeah, actually, Juju's our niece."
Yeah,
so
there you go.
they found a piece of the Iowa section that they could carve out for themselves. Two USC jerseys in a sea of black and gold.
Yeah.
There they are.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
right behind us.
That's not easy to do. I have 3 kids, and it's tough to sit in the arenas, like opposing fan section.
That's right. That's right.
That takes a lot to do.
Patrick and Tanya back there are tough customers.
Yeah, I love it. In the building, though, supporting this game and this moment is so awesome for women's basketball.
Oh.
Obviously for Caitlin Clark, special for her individually. But these fans have been here. Like, there's no fall off. It's another sellout in the building at Carver Hawkeye Arena, and that just speaks to the reverence that they have for women's basketball and what Lisa Bluter created for so many decades here for the Hawkeyes.
You know how lore starts to happen around games like this? A local person told me earlier that parking was going for between $200 and $1,000. Whether that's true or not, that's the feel of this game. What a pass, and Juju is there to put it in.
What a dart of a find underneath for Juju to finish with the reverse.
USC has almost come all the way back in just a 10-minute span from 18 to 4 down. It's a takeaway. Juju with 1 second, she got it off to give USC the lead.
Absolutely incredible effort by Juju Watkins. Lindsey Gottlieb gives her some depth, depths her up for that effort. Defense turning into an easy deuce, and some extra seasoned momentum headed into the halftime locker room.
In 2 ways, objects in the mirror are closer than they appear right now for Iowa.
Especially if it's Juju Watkins in that mirror. Juju taking it the distance, and I believe got it off in time to get that one to drop home.
Call on the floor is confirmed. Successful 2-point field goal.
It is confirmed, definitely out of the fingertips. And Juju Watkins says, yeah, that's good. Count that. That's good, Juju, yet again.
It is such a suave player. I mean, how cool and smooth is it to have it with like a 1/10 of a second and release it?
Oh, it's just poetic. Juju Watkins bringing her A game to the court in the second quarter and giving some energy and juice to the road team, the Trojans, up 1.
Ram Trucks halftime report right after this.
Here we go. Clark comes off the screen. She's got a look. Fires it. Caitlin Clark for 3. Top of the key. Nada Clark. Step back 3 at the buzzer. Not again.
Iowa fans reliving those moments. Caitlin Clark is here courtside reliving those moments with us as well. Our score at halftime, it is a tight ball game, 29-28. USC with the lead at a jam-packed Carver Hawkeye Arena. To commemorate and celebrate today's jersey retirement, Wilson and Caitlin Clark collaborated to create this commemorative basketball featuring Caitlin's color selection and listing all of her records. You almost need 3 basketballs for it. Caitlin Clark joins us. She is the Time Magazine Athlete of the Year on the cover. Congratulations, Caitlin Clark. Thank you for stopping by.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
So you were 5 years old when you decided on number 22, as the story goes. If we were to tell that 5-year-old what today was going to be, what would she have said?
Honestly, I'm very overwhelmed. This has been absolutely incredible. Just being here and feeling this energy again, there's really no place like this place, and I truly mean that. And it's special for me. It's special for my family, and a lot of my former teammates are back here, former coaches, the coaching staff, and some of my teammates that are still on the team. But I'm just very lucky and grateful and very fortunate. At 5 years old, you don't dream of something like this. So, it comes with a lot of hard work and a lot of really good people that have helped me get here.
What has been specifically your pinch me moment, especially over the last couple of years?
Yeah, that's tough. I think probably the Final Fours for me. That was my biggest dream, is helping this program get back there. Obviously, we haven't been there since 1993, so getting back there and then doing it in back-to-back years, it's hard to, appreciate it right in the moment. Oh, good shot. It's hard to appreciate it in the moment, but once you look back and reflect on everything, it's really special.
How tough is Hannah Stolke?
She looks really good. I went up to her yesterday. I actually practiced with the girls, and I was like, Han, you look so strong. You look great. Just really proud of her and her physicality. I think, getting her back to the 5 position has been helpful for this team, and I think she feels a little bit more comfortable there. I think in due time she'll be great at the 4 once she, get her shots. She gets a little more comfortable with her shot, but she's improved so much since my freshman year. I'm just really proud of her.
What have you seen collectively from the team in your absence from your role on this Iowa Hawkeye squad?
It was always going to be really hard to replace not only myself, but more so the teammates that I had as well, because we were just a well-oiled machine. We all knew what we were going to do. We just worked well with one another, and that took years for us to get down. So I think it's been a process for them trying to figure out who's going to be that person, who's going to be that leader, who's that person going to be in crunch time to take a shot, and they've been trying to figure it out. And then obviously you lose your head coach as well. That adds a whole nother dynamic. So I'm really proud of this group and proud of the coaching staff. I think they've done a great job, and this freshman class is really talented, and I'm excited about them.
We're joined by Caitlin Clark here courtside. 2 free throws coming for Lucy Olson. You had a birthday, right? You turned 23.
23.
No more 22. Which birthday to which birthday has your life changed the most early in your life?
I would say year 22 for me. So going from 21 to 22, a whole year of 22 is pretty special. Obviously my golden birthday, but I think looking back and reflecting on all that came in year 22 is pretty incredible. Hard to believe that some of it was even real. Getting back to the national championship, being the #1 draft pick, helping the Fever get back to the playoffs first time since 2016. So just really grateful, honestly.
Well, just overall, you are a lifter and a motivator, not just because of basketball, but in the community. What has it meant for you to still impact this Iowa community, being from Iowa?
Good shot. It's something that I feel is really easy to do because they had such a profound impact on myself, and everybody talks about the impact that I've had on the people of, our state, this community, the country, whatever it is, women's basketball. But I don't think people and fans always realize how big of an impact they can have on us too as players, from the young girls, from the people that show up every single night to, whoever it is that just gives you a high five. You remember, we're real humans too, so that has a huge impact on us, and I don't think that's something people always think about.
And you loved Maya Moore as a youngster. She was here for your senior night here at Iowa. And what is it like to be that for young boys and girls now?
Good move.
How about Lucy Olson there?
Great
Iowa
move.
retakes the lead.
Great move. It's hard to kind of comprehend still. I know I'm in that position, and I take a lot of great pride in that and being a great role model for people. But, it's because I had people like Maya Moore or Candace Parker, or whoever it was that I looked up to, from the girls that were on the high school basketball team to the girls that played in the WNBA. It didn't really matter who they were. I just wanted to look up to somebody and see, the impact that they could have on young women, and I wanted to be able to do that one day. And now I get to do it just by playing basketball and having fun and kind of living my dream.
And have you spoken to Juju about that role for her respectively?
I'm talking to Juju a little bit. Obviously, I kind of watch from a distance, but honestly, more than anything, I just try to be supportive. She doesn't need my help. She's obviously really talented, and her game it speaks for itself, and she's so fun to watch. And as you can tell, our entire scouting report, number 12, that's all it's about. And that means, we have so much respect for her. And, she's only a sophomore. She's going to get so much better, and she already is really good, so it's scary to think about.
She scored the last 10 for USC in the first half.
A little tear there.
What is it like to be in that mode?
Yeah. As a player, there's nothing better than seeing the ball go through the rim. It just gives you confidence, and I think as a shooter, you make a shot. She got to the free throw line. That's huge. You don't want to give them easy baskets, but when you give it to the free throw line and see the ball go through, it's really important. So I think that gave her some confidence, and then she made some good plays there.
Well, the fans have continued to show up here at Carver Hawkeye Arena. What has that meant for you to not only see it, but feel the energy in this building?
I'm really happy, and I just want to tell the fans thank you, because this group deserves it. The coaching staff deserves it. These girls that work so hard, every single day. It's fun for them to get to come in here, and they really rely on these fans. It brings a whole other factor in here. So it's the hardest place to play in all of women's college basketball. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, and the WNBA, you're going to be playing here with the Fever.
I can't wait to have all my teammates back in here, and I know the Hawkeye fans are going to give them a very warm welcome. So I think that's going to be special for all of us.
A lot of new players with the Fever. Super excited for you.
Really
Steph White is in the building.
Yeah.
Juju trying to go to work. She left it short. Second chance is there.
Come on. Good move.
You can't help but be intense about basketball. What are you not competitive in?
Nothing.
Your brothers are here, your parents, your family, and Connor is here.
Yeah.
What have they shared with you about this day and this moment in your journey?
Well, I think last night I got together with a lot of people that have just had a really big impact on me, and more of a way to say thank you to them. I wouldn't be here without, the media team or the managers or whoever it is. They all have been very selfless and throughout my career to help me get to the point I've been at. So I think the biggest thing is my mom just told me just enjoy it and look around all these people that are appreciating what you did and they love you and they want to celebrate you. And sometimes that's hard. You don't always want to think like that.
Right.
But it is really true. I love all these people back, and I feel very grateful and blessed.
What's the best advice Lisa Bluter gave you or is still continuing to give you now?
Hang out with David Letterman.
I guess so. Yeah, no kidding. I think for her, it was way more than basketball, and you don't always see that in today's world, and I think that's something that's super special. And the same way that Coach Jay runs the program now, it's you're going to be a good person before, any basketball happens, and I think that's super important. So I think just be where your feet are, soak in every single moment. She always says that. If you ask her players, everybody would probably say that's one of the best pieces of advice. Come on, Sid.
Sydney or Falter at the free throw line. You mentioned it, right? So many people look up to you, Caitlin. Mm-hmm. What do you look for in a hero for yourself?
I think when I think about myself, and if somebody, wanted to look to me as a hero, I hope they would think somebody that gives them joy, somebody that gives them hope, and somebody that can bring people together to celebrate something and find, happiness in something. And that obviously doesn't have to be a basketball. It can be whatever it is. And I think our world needs a lot more of that. Good shot, 23.
That is great advice.
Absolutely.
Avery Howell bags the three-point game. When you're done with your career, you want to be an analyst? Do you want to take a possession here?
I don't know. I need to study up a little bit, but it's fun. I talk maybe too much. No, listeners at home probably be like, we're trying to watch.
No, it's super fun. Well, when all is said and done for you, what do you want said about what you've done?
I hope I just inspired.
Oh, wow, Lucy Olsen.
Great move by her. That step through is working right now. I hope, I feel like I gave people joy and hope to accomplish whatever, and joy and hope in the young women in sport and young girls to achieve whatever they want to achieve. I think that's the best thing. And obviously, women's athletics is taking off, so it's been really fun to watch.
Watkins, foul. When you're playing here at Carver Hawkeye, can you hear this crowd?
Oh,
could you feel it?
I know that's the thing. I was sitting up there with my family, and I'm like, you know me, I used to be like trying to get everybody into it. Like, we're missing a little of that. Like, come on, tell them to scream. They want to scream for you. You just got to let them know when. But they're going to get really into it here, especially, you know, beginning of the fourth quarter. It's going to be really, really, really loud.
Well, yesterday in practice, there was some simulation of crowd noise in the building.
Yeah.
Did you all do that? And what is that like? Does that actually help you when you're trying to execute under that audio duress of the crowd?
You know, I think it's interesting. We did it early in my career, but then, to be honest, like whether we were at home or on the road, it felt like everybody was kind of cheering for us, minus maybe like an IU or in Michigan or Nebraska. But even at these places, like we had a lot of fans rooting for Iowa, so we weren't always facing like the true road crowd, and I feel very fortunate about that. But you know, it's something you have to balance as a player, but if you use it to the best of your ability, like it can be a huge advantage. So I know these girls will use it here in the fourth.
So have you had a Carver cone yet?
I haven't.
Today?
I haven't had one in a really long time, actually.
We need to get you one of those.
Might be a little early. What if it's only like 2 o'clock?
There's always time. Still being fouled. So, Chiefs versus Cooper DeJean. Where are you in the Super Bowl? I know you're a big Chiefs fan.
You know, obviously, I always hope the best for people that I kind of know personally. I hope Cooper has a great game, but, you know, it's my Chiefs all day long.
Are you going?
I haven't decided. We'll see. I might be at the Super Bowl. I might not be at the Super Bowl. I don't know. Either way, I'll be locked in, whether it's on my couch, whether it's, you know, in the arena, who knows, the stadium.
Love it. Love it. We're joined by Caitlin Clark, your jersey retirement. You said earlier this week, like, it's hard to get emotional about something like that when you're playing a game that day. Like, what do you think it's going to be like for you when this happens?
I think it's going to be emotional, maybe. I kind of got emotional just walking in here. So
did you really?
A little bit. Just being back in this place and seeing the way these fans show up, like, it's just like really the coolest thing. And it just, you know,
it's beautiful.
It is. It's a beautiful thing. Like, it's not like this everywhere else. So you got to take advantage of it and appreciate it.
3-point game. What do you want out of this possession? Just put your analyst hat on for a moment.
That I like that. You know.
Sydney Falter, offensive rebound and a back tap. Iowa will keep it.
I think we got to keep shooting open threes. We've missed a few that I would have liked us to make. We got to make free throws. And keep playing good defense. And I think we need to get a few possessions back on the O boards. Hannah's done a really good job, but that's going to be important. And then obviously, more than anything, got to take care of the ball because that's how they got their run going in the first half. But honestly, I'm really impressed with our defense. You know, I told him yesterday, Juju's going to make hard shots. That's what she does. She's really good at it. Don't hang your head. Just get back. Get a shot up. Come on.
Olsen got to get it off. She does. And it's a violation. Caitlin, congratulations on everything.
Guys.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Enjoy it.
Thank you. I will. Thanks, guys. Yeah, take care.
Greats of all
Thank
time.
you.
Caitlin,
appreciate it. Good to see you guys.
Good job, baby.
Good to see you.
Proud of you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Big Ten College Hoops powered by Ram Trucks. Built to serve. So great to have Caitlin Clark here courtside, and she sprinkled some pixie dust on this competitor directly from the 22 logo.
Let's go.
I mean...
logo 3, let's go, baby. Yeah.
She was hitting logo 3s. She then put a logo on the floor, and now other people are hitting logo 3s from her logo.
It's a legacy.
What is happening?
Magic.
Tournament resume for USC. Their only loss right around Thanksgiving to Hannah Hidalgo and Notre Dame. 74-61. Some great wins. They fended off a UConn comeback in Hartford back in December. They beat Michigan and Maryland, a tremendous program as well. And a very deep Big Ten. USC has been the class of the league with UCLA.
Yeah, it's just been fantastic. I mean, 4 new teams into an already fantastically solid Big Ten conference. And Caitlin Clark, number 22, right after the game, is going up into the Raptors. What an exciting environment for our game in general, but especially here for the Iowa Hawkeyes and for Caitlin Clark and her family.
I'm always struck by her knowledge of how much she can impact the world. Iriafen for 2.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, she's an inspiration, and for her to also say that, I mean, we know that. Yeah. She gives people hope outside of the game of basketball. I mean, it's worldwide what she's been able to do, and what a lot of women in basketball have been able to do. Asia Wilson got her 22 retired today at South Carolina. She has a statue outside of the building there. I mean, just so many magical things happening because of the respect that women's basketball has.
Fierbach created that. Stokey finished it. It's a 3-point game.
What Iowa has been able to do, they've been able to attack the painted area. Extra passes are being made. Hannah Stokey staying available and getting that body contact from Juju Watkins. What a great dime. Underneath, the bounce pass right into the pocket by Hannah Stokey. And she's like, that's what we're doing out here. That's exactly what we need to do. I love that.
She's got serious face. You know, even her bio picture on the website, like there's no smiling on picture day.
Oh, hey, listen, it's business.
On the other end, 2 and a foul for USC and Iriafen.
Well, it's going to be a battle of buckets on the interior, clearly. Coming out of the gates the last couple of possessions. That lob, if you're going to front, you got to bring somebody up that weak side, but they have to be on time. You cannot be a beat late there on the rotation. Now look at that. That weak side needs to be established so that could be a charge instead of a block.
Secondary defender comes in.
Got to be there on the flight of the pass is when you need to make that move to get there so you arrive on time.
This is as impressive of a comeback and a show of force and resilience for USC all year long. They were down 18-4 after a quarter. Their largest lead right now. Stokey cuts into it.
Really great dissection of the 1-2-2 press by Iowa right there. It's a zigzag attack. Get it to the middle, get it up the floor, and finish inside.
Stokey does have 3 fouls. She just picked one up. Got to be careful there. And if that is on Stokey, that's 4.
And that is a critical juncture for that 4th foul.
I mean, she just picked up the 3rd one 2 possessions ago.
And that's a toughie. And she has 10 points and 4 fouls, but right here, just a little bit too late. You got to give that up. She already had momentum and an advantage to that baseline, and there was no way she was going to get her left foot in there to turn her back to the corner.
How long can Jan Jensen live without Hannah Stokey? She leaves at 3:23 in the 3rd.
She might have to finish at least this 3rd quarter for sure, and then maybe a couple minutes into the 4th, bring her back. But that's that gray area where not only do you have to trust your players, but you also have to have a feel to how the game is going.
Well, the feel that Jan Jensen has right now is anger. She's over on the sideline. Her arms are still straight up. I mean, we watched it for 7 seconds. She still had her arms straight up. Guyton called for the foul. And Juju Watkins sinks the free throw.
I'm just getting a little bit frustrated here, but for Iowa, they have to hold the rope, right? And make sure that everyone is continuing to stay disciplined. You heard Caitlin Clark say it's been the defense that has been on point in this game. But when USC scores the basketball, they can apply that defense full court. And you see it here. This man-to-man defense in the open court.
USC 12 points off turnovers, punched away by Iriafen.
USC's been able to show a lot of different defensive schemes in the full court. And Iowa has had to maneuver through.
Jan Jensen in her 804th game as some version of an Iowa coach. This is kicked toward us, actually.
I wish it did come over here. Get to see if that 3 can fall from here.
You definitely would
I don't know.
crush all of us on the crew and horse.
Yeah, just inside the painted area. That would be nice.
Steve Shear is a staunch post defender, right? Producer. Crowd wants a foul away from the ball.
Just down in the paint. Just Iriafen just really physical on the block, disallowing a touch.
She has 3 fouls as well. That would be a big 4th. Olsen carving the lane. On a bounce pass pass, and she finds O'Grady.
Just perfectly timed pass to the weak side, drew the defense to the basketball, and made the play. Excellent read.
Ball fake from Smith. Way short.
Just didn't have the lift.
Lot of contact. And it's against Smith. That's her fourth. And she is beside herself.
Lindsay Gottlieb is incensed right there on that call. She wants some explanations. We'll take a look. And you see the drive right there, and you see Kennedy just staying too close. But look at this pass by Lucy Olsen. I love Lucy. I love passes like that. And I love it. You know, you have to commit the defense to the basketball. You know they're going to come. A straight line drive to the cup, you're not going to get that free and easy. The defense is going to come over and collapse. So what do you do on the weak side? You slide right into that little slot and
then
get a bucket.
the defense has some splaining to do after that.
I see what you did there.
Scarsdale's own is rather displeased with the call as well. I don't know that either coach is happy right now. Major foul trouble in the post both ways. An entire state is on its feet.
Can feel it.
Marshall fans it out wide. Mulaney, that's a three for Von Oelhoffen, I should say, and USC by 5.
Oh, just a timely bucket right in front of the Trojans bench there, a triple. Trying to quiet the storm here in Iowa City.
Guyton. Five to shoot. Guyton got it to the rim, missed it, got her own rebound. Shot clock winding down. We get a whistle and a tie-up, and it's going to go to USC.
Only 0.6 left on the shot clock there, so that was a save for Iowa, although they lose the possession. But look at this possession by USC. Van Oelhoffen, cash from the corner pocket. What a great find, just a hard, two-handed overhead dart of a pass to the corner. And there's the bench, like, there we are. There it is. We needed it. Look to the rescue to kill momentum.
Talia Von Oelhoffen, her first points from 3. Watkins got it to the corner. Von Oelhoffen again. She missed it.
Just one and done there, and that's what Iowa did early for that huge lead. Handed the glass.
That's a foul waiting to happen. It's on Von Oelhoffen, and 2 free throws coming.
Well, just a wise decision to screech those breaks. What a great drive there by Taylor Strimlow.
Tell you what, we have seen a lot of back and forth, and with 11 minutes left, who knows how this thing ends.
Yeah, you just have to stay diligent, stay competitive, and stay disciplined. And both coaches are probably saying that exact same trio of things. They have to happen right now.
Malia Samuels checks in. Von Oelhoffen checks out.
Let's see if USC can continue to put pressure on the rim and try to get Iowa in some kind of rotation defensively. They like to mix things up. They'll show some junk, although this is their 2-3 zone.
Howell, no. Iriafen got a hand on it, and it's out of bounds to Iowa.
Well, Iowa has been known to throw some box and 1, some triangle and 2, where 2 players are guarding players on the other team man-to-man, and 3 of them are in a triangle and playing zone principles in there. But we've seen mostly a 2-3 zone from Iowa in this one.
USC just 4 for 16 from 3.
Just great patience by Iowa on the offensive end, looking to get an ISO on the inside.
It's O'Grady for 2. Boy, she just buried the defender. Watkins got it to the corner. That won't fall for Samuels. Second chance opportunity. Great defense by O'Grady. Iowa basketball, 15 seconds to go in the third. What do you want out of Iowa in this possession?
I want to see them carve through this full court press yet again. I mean, it's man-to-man pressure, so they don't need everyone up into the backcourt here. They just need one entry pass and then clear everybody else out, right? You're crowding the space by having all these bodies up front. Just slide back. You just need to get the ball in. Right here. Now just clear out. There you go.
Heckel making Olsen work hard into the front court. 8 seconds to go, third quarter. Iowa last led at 33-32. Olsen gives the Hawkeyes the lead at the end of quarter number 3. What a game!
Lucy, right there. Just a menace in the mid-range. Insane in the mid-range, sliding to her left. We told you that's what it was for her. Lucy Olsen with a big bucket headed into the fourth. Don't you go anywhere. This game is like that.
Long rebound dug up by Gabby Marshall. Scoops a pass to Clark. Logo 3. Got it! Caitlin Clark is the NCAA's all-time scoring leader in women's basketball history. Caitlin Clark passes Pete Maravich as the all-time scoring leader, men or women, in NCAA history.
Caitlin Clark's jersey will be retired post-game. We got a chance to talk to her. Thank you very much to Caitlin for joining us at the end of the first half as we take a look at our game summary, sponsored by Progressive. Get slam dunk savings today. Well, neither team has shot it fantastically. Iowa trying to hold off a USC team, Christie, that was down 18-4 after one quarter, and both teams dealing with foul trouble in the post.
Yeah, no question about it. And speaking of that, you see Caitlin Clark watching the paint points right now. It's a +4, right? You said that USC had those 4 points early on, but now they have a +4 advantage in the paint. And look at those two, the dynamic duo. David Letterman and Lisa Bluter courtside here at Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Do you have any stupid human tricks you'd like to do?
You know, my kids would think so, although I think they're pretty cool tricks, but none of the 3 of my kids laugh at them.
Amazing.
But hi, guys.
That's perfect. Here's Olsen. Catch and shoot for 2. Iowa by 3. USC has struggled to shoot over the zone.
Yeah, they're playing it wide, right? They're moving on the flight of the pass, arriving on the catch.
Howell does and ties the game.
And Lucy Olsen was a beat too late to get there to contest it in the shot pocket on that one. They had done a good job right to left. They had 3 basketball reversals on that last play on the offensive side.
Lucy Olsen, the transfer, has been outstanding for Iowa.
Well, she has been phenomenal. What a driving force she has been on the offensive end. We said that she was a menace in the mid-range, but she can also get downhill and attack and finish right there at the rim. But the best thing that she does, she applies pressure because you don't know how she's going to attack you. I mean, she was a stalwart on the offensive end last year with Villanova, 23 a game to lead the Big East in scoring. She was also most improved in the Big East.
And now she's here at Iowa trying to help the Hawkeyes back to the NCAA tournament against 2 defenders. Olsen, oh boy.
She's feeling it. You see a couple of those go through, you get into that rhythm.
What does Juju Watkins have to say about it? A pull-up. No answer. A falter could not clear the rebound.
Well, we just spoke her name, but her game is the same. Lucy Olson, the little deceleration, stutter step, hezzy, and all cash net on that one. Tough bucket.
That was off of USC. It's Iowa basketball here. Some relitigating going on. Saw the score bug there. The jersey retirement live post-game in Carver Hawkeye Arena. Caitlin Clark's jersey will go up into the rafters here. Her former team, the current team in her heart, still has business to take care of.
Absolutely.
O'Grady, what a spin. Watkins taking matters into her own hands, and she is grabbed and fouled.
Let's take a look. Juju Watkins trying to attack the painted area and ran into a crowd, and the foul was called prior to that tie-up. But in practice this morning, Iowa was out on the court this morning at 7:30 for a shoot-around, and it was just implicitly stated that they want her to see a crowd in the paint, and that she did on that last possession for sure.
Well, her family in the crowd wanted the continuation, and Area Fenn gets two.
Area Fenn's been a little quiet on the interior, but I don't expect that to last much longer. Again, give credit to Iowa's defense taking away that line.
Olsen creates the contact so beautifully. Watkins didn't think she fouled her. Lucy Olsen, 12 points already in the second half. Olsen got the first. Caitlin Clark will join Megan Gustafson and Michelle Edwards in the rafters.
Yeah, absolutely. Megan Gustafson, Player of the Year, her senior season in 2019. Currently playing with the Aces in the WNBA, and just what a fantastic career she has had. It's a double-double machine, but so Monica Samano and Addison O'Grady getting loose in the same way inside.
Area Fenn got to her spot, missed the shot. A rebound foul against Samuels.
And that's exactly what Jan Jensen said in that first half, right? They're not going to call the foul if you're not going to box out.
Yep.
That time there was a box out in place. You maintain the contact on the box out, and you get the call. Get in a stance. I mean, rebounding, you're in a stance. Everybody thinks it's just defense that you're in a stance for. You're in a stance for rebounding too. Get low, get established. You're stronger when you're lower to the floor.
This has been such a grinder of a game so far for Iowa. McCabe got it to the corner.
He's done a nice job of crowding McCabe.
Stremlow and it taken away. Up ahead, Kennedy Smith. It's a two-point game.
Well, those fast break opportunities for USC have been few and far between. Same for Iowa. Both teams doing a good job of taking those opportunities away.
Double team. Stremlow out of it to pop it ahead, and we get a timeout by the official. Jan Jensen was on the court. The near side official blew his whistle. It was just an official timeout for the moment. Kevin Pethel, I think he was going to call 10 seconds, then he thought better of it. The ball was in the air.
An inadvertent whistle.
I think it might have been advertent at the start, and then it became inadvertent afterward. You don't hear much about anything being advertent, but it might have been.
Absolutely right.
Yeah. It's like the only thing ensuing is a kickoff.
That's next week. Right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Letterman's here. I'm inspired.
Oh, you are.
Tremlo, not a whole lot going on for Iowa here. Guyton with 5. Watkins staying away from her. Guyton, they went under, and she missed it. Follow is there, though. O'Grady came in, her former coach, loving it. Timeout, USC. (61-57) Iowa the lead. Caitlin Clark taking it in. Connor McCaffrey as well. Caitlin's family here. And what a celebration. And look, just enjoying. She's actually watching David Letterman on the video board. That was Caitlin Clark watching David Letterman and smiling. But the family here, Mom Anna, Dad Brent, the entire crew, and you see the foul trouble that's built in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it has been a physical game, but it has also been a game in which both teams have been trying to take away the paint. And that has been the challenge, and that's why the foul total is what it is for both teams, very high.
And so, free throw shooting becomes paramount in this game, and USC at 77%, well better than Iowa for the year. Not bad, 72% basically.
Right.
4-point game. Von Ohlhocker doing a big 3 in the third quarter. Tried to zip it into the post and missed.
You just have to take your time, and you see the frustration on the face of Juju Watkins. She knows it's amnesia. You're on to the next. She's not going to let that miscue impact the next play. We were talking about the three-point shooting. Coming into this one, USC shoots it at a 33% clip, and Iowa 34%. See what that looks like down the stretch.
Both teams 5 for 18 from 3. Who will get hot? Olsen, show and go. She missed it left.
We call that a show and no then, I guess.
Yeah, just show and no.
Darn it.
Into the corner, the find from Watkins. That won't fall. Second chance. Watkins, long 3. No. Uriafen standing close, and here comes Feuerbach in Iowa. That's deflected away over at the sideline, nearly saved, and it's out of bounds. Uriafen somehow almost secured that in very close quarters.
Well, Lindsey Gottlieb wanted a push from behind on Guyton. Watch right here. See, Guyton is going to hustle for it, and there was that little left arm, the little chicken wing came out. A little lemon pepper wing. Extra. Extra.
Iowa had opportunities early to try to salt this game away. Didn't do it. There's a hard drive and a score, and Lucy Olsen is a dynamo right now.
Look at the defense, too, by Lucy Olsen, walling up Juju Watkins.
Marshall turns it left, got it in the corner, and Smith with a big hit.
They needed that one. We were talking about the three-point shooting percentages for both teams. And Lucy Olsen just went straight to the rack and finished with contact. Her confidence level right now is palpable and is making a huge impact for Iowa.
Feuerbach got it to O'Grady, and that's pure. Big second half for O'Grady. And a takeaway. Olsen wide open down her lane. And it is hers in the second half. '22s everywhere at Carver Hawkeye Arena. And don't forget, join us right after the conclusion of this game. Live coverage of the jersey retirement for Caitlin Clark, who told us courtside. And when she said it, she sounded almost surprised herself that she got emotional when she walked into the arena. And her former associate head coach, now head coach at Iowa, Jan Jensen, trying to protect the lead in the huddle.
It's our moment. We're going to take it, all right? We talk about that. We're not going to come up. If this goes to 44, we got that, right? Box out. Also, we're going to do one possession of 11. They're drawing everything up for zone. One great possession of 11.
When will she deploy it is the question, but this is our moment.
Oh, I love it. And Caitlin Clark said the same, right? She said, be where your feet are. That's one of my most favorite quotes. That gets you locked into each moment, whether there's a miscue or not. Regardless of what's happening, stay passionate, keep your joy and love for the game. The top tier reason why you're competing the way that you are with your teammates.
Iowa has kept Juju Watkins scoreless where her feet are here in the fourth quarter. Oh, tough catch for her over on the sideline, taken away. Feuerbach with a rugged effort.
Juju Watkins just 6 of 19 from the floor. 1 of 6 here in the second half, and that is all due to the disruption that Iowa has created on the defensive end. Nothing easy has come Juju's way in this game.
Feuerbach, the dish. Oh, Grady lifted out. That could be a huge turning point for USC. The door creaks open. Watkins into area fed against O'Grady. Couldn't find it.
Couldn't pay that one off. Kiki Ariaven just didn't have her good body balance there to drive that one home off the window.
Feuerbach lost her defender, Kennedy Smith, but didn't find the ball. O'Grady shows the screen. Feuerbach for O'Grady. Oh, everything's going Addie O'Grady's way. Biggest lead in the half for Iowa. Foul on Olsen.
Oh my. Addie O'Grady 6 of 8 from the floor, and she has just been ready and steady. Oh my, O'Grady.
They're doing it without Hannah Stolke.
How about that? It has been the entire team, and that's what Caitlin Clark said as well. It's about everyone here at Iowa.
Under 3 to go to turn this into a raucous celebration. Olsen got the hand on the ball.
Good composure, wise decision to come back out and reorganize in the quarter court here for the Hawkeyes.
Nearly 20 turnovers for USC in the game. Is it a put-away pitch for Iowa?
Guyton had to check and see if her heels were still in bounds. She has just put on a display with this basketball.
She's break dancing. The follow for a falter taken away. Watkins had Howell for a moment. Juju loves the pull-up instead of drive. And a step through for 2. It's a 7-point game. USC's not done.
Juju on that beat on that one. Oh, my. Ooh, fanciful basketball.
Ooh, right back at her. Guyton behind the back.
Come on. Uh-oh. Getting a little spicy in here.
Yeah, it is.
I like it.
Under 2 minutes to go, Iowa trying to secure a win against USC. What a cut by Olsen. Tearing a foul.
Lucy Olsen, are you kidding me? What a dart of a back cut. She told me after practice today that USC likes to play tough into that goal line. And I said, what do you need to do? She said, we need to use that against them and take hard back cuts. And voila, it magically appeared.
Lisa Bluter could not control herself. She was standing, she was celebrating, and by the way, foul number 5 for Kennedy Smith, along with the 3-point play opportunity for Olsen. And you think about for Lucy Olsen,
yes,
showing up here to be the lead dog scoring-wise, replacing quote-unquote, right? You can't replace Caitlin Clark, but she transfers in as a big-time scorer. That's difficult for anybody to be that. And she is settling into her moment as a Hawkeye.
No question about it.
It's a wall of sound. And a foul against Olsen. That's 4 on her.
Jan Jensen just put her hands to the ground and said, that's okay. We're on to the next play. Just stay locked in right here. But you were talking about Lucy Olsen. I mean, last year she was 3rd best in the country, scoring 23 points per contest. And they haven't needed for her to do that on a steady basis. But with Hannah Stuelke on the bench with those 4 fouls, she has come alive here down the stretch.
13 fourth-quarter points for Olsen. USC has all of 12. Here is 12 trying to create for Heckel. Big 3 for USC, her first.
Keeping that door cracked open. And kicked it with the foot and make sure it wasn't locked.
Walter has time. They can work it down under a minute and a back tap foul against Rhea Marshall. That's the 5th foul against USC. A Falter, a 70% foul shooter.
Well, Marshall in the open court like that, I don't know why she would gamble all the way out there. Just keep them in front. Sydney Falter has just been magnificent. He's a Big Ten All-Tournament team member. At 41 points, 27 boards, and 16 assists in 3 games last year for the Hawkeyes.
And she's lived at the foul line today. 2 for 2.
4 career double-doubles for Falter, 2 of them this season.
Howell step back, didn't have the 3. Instead, Heckel, same spot. Nothing that time. Rebound, Guyton. Iowa just might do this. Oh, a takeaway. Area finish, huge turnover. That's the final timeout if Lindsey Gottlieb just called it.
2 impactful moments right there. The steal and the score, but also the final timeout at this juncture. You better be calling some A, B, and C options in that huddle if you're Lindsey Gottlieb.
That's why I said if. It looks like Iowa did call it.
Oh, so Iowa got it, okay.
I'm just waiting to see, but Iriafen creates this turnover, and USC just feasts on turnovers.
Yeah, in the second half in particular, their press has been able to really give them some traction with their steal and score ability. And they got that one free and easy. Iriafen with those long arms and great anticipation skills. Got that turn and burn mentality on point.
USC is going to spend the night here in Iowa City. They'll get on the bus, go to Wisconsin for a date in Madison, and then, oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a gauntlet in the Big Ten. And you see that stretch of games, you have to do your due diligence and stay rested and ready.
See Iowa State a bunch here on Fox. Iowa will on February the 17th in a big game. Then they take on UCLA. Back-to-back opportunities for the Hawkeyes who could change their fortunes with a win here.
And no question about it. We saw Illinois with the 1-point upset over Maryland earlier today as well. So the Big Ten, you never know. On any given night, anything can happen.
No foul given yet. I mean, this is a 7-point game. They have not. Now they do. And Olsen will be the one shooting the free throws. If you're going to foul, Christy, I understand looking for the trap, but 10 seconds, that's more than a fifth of the game now.
Yeah, that's a lot of meat on the bone, you know, that you have to operate with if you use it properly. And I agree, I concur. That was a lot of time to come off the clock. And you do want to blitz and rotate, so send 2 to the ball and try to get that steal initially.
Yeah.
But when you don't get it, that foul needs to come immediately.
Olsen at the foul line. Good.
He's a 75% free throw shooter on the season. And Hannah Stuelke sitting pretty on the bench right there, clapping up her teammates and their effort, especially down the stretch here in the 4th.
She left at 3:23 in the 3rd in a 4-point game, and Iowa has charged away from USC. Juju, logo 3, way short. The power of an arena and the power of the orbit of one person coming together today has left USC in one of those moments where all you can do is roll your eyes a little bit for the spot that you've been put in. This is the magic of humanity.
It is.
In one afternoon in Iowa City.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, you've seen the youth show up here for USC in this kind of environment, but Addison O'Grady, she has come up huge for the Hawkeyes. We've seen it with Megan Gustafson, Monica Sonano, but it has been a plethora and variety of moves down inside for Addison O'Grady in this one. And she has been absolutely magnificent in terms of her effectiveness to score, and not just in the paint. She's hit some slot area, mid-range elbow shots as well. And the relief point for Iowa on the offensive end in the quarter court.
Really good way to put it, relief point, right? When to alleviate some of that pressure that served USC so well in the comeback.
Absolutely. You have to move without the basketball, and that's what I said would alleviate that momentum swing that USC presented. You've got to continue to move well without the basketball. Get into those pockets of success is what I like to call it when I was coaching. That's where you need to be. And help your teammates.
This place has been a tea kettle on the verge of boil all day long.
Percolating for sure at the moment.
Olsen, they got to foul her. Olsen holding onto the ball. Olsen got rid of it for O'Grady. USC playing a lot of defense here. Guyton the catch. She's not going to shoot, and no reason to if they're not going to foul. USC's just going to lay off here.
Oh, the whirling dervish. Guyton has put on a full display.
Upset of the year in the Big Ten on the way on Caitlin Clark's jersey retirement day. Juju, one last chance. She's got two. 1.9 to go. Would have been more fitting if it was 2.2, but you take what you can get if you're the Hawkeyes, and what you get is a massive upset. What a day in Iowa City. Former player and coach and late night host all enjoying it. 76-69 your final. For Christy Winter-Scott, I'm Jason Benetti. Caitlin Clark's jersey retirement ceremony live right after we go to our Los Angeles studio after this.
And now we'll hear from Lisa Bluter and Jan Jensen.
You know, for those of us that were blessed enough to be in the recruiting wars with Caitlin Clark, it didn't take but a second when you saw her for the first time to recognize her greatness. We had a step back three, we had a semi-shoulder shrug, and we had a little grin looking over at the bench, and she was, I think, a rising ninth grader. And so, Lisa, Jenny, myself, our staff, we made a pact that we were going to do everything we could to be the last one standing. And we are so thankful that we were the last one standing. You know, I've often said about Caitlin, you know, she's truly generational. She changed the world. She did all the things, and people always ask Lisa and myself, did you think she was going to be that good? And we said, we thought she would be All-American, and we believed she could take us to the Final Four. But did we think she would become the most recognizable athlete on the planet? Probably not at that point. But what's been so incredible about Caitlin is, I said it often, very few people can deliver every night. If you wanted her to shoot a logo, she did it. As a pass from the, 3/4 length of the court, maybe a little sassy with the ref, she did it, usually. She never disappointed. But the thing that was the coolest about coaching this young woman is she is the same today as when she came in. She is full of confidence. She's full of grace. And she has an unbelievable power to make everybody around her better. And the thing I'd like to close with, if you didn't know, to celebrate this wonderful moment, she gave $22,000 to 4 different entities in this town to share her success and to say thank you. Caitlin, we want to thank you. And Lisa and I had the ride of a lifetime, and you had the head coach of a lifetime. Lisa Luter.
Caitlin, just a couple of short years ago, I came into the arena. You were in here getting your shots up before practice, like you always are. And you paused for a second, and you looked up there, and you looked at those jerseys. I went over to you, put my arm around your shoulder, and said, Caitlin, someday your name's going to be up there. Your jersey's going to be up there. Today is that day, Caitlin. The positive image that you've brought to this basketball program, this university, this state, women's basketball nationally is unmeasurable. And I've spent my entire career trying to empower young women. That's what it's all about. But you've done more of that in the last 4 years than anybody could imagine. I've always said, if you can see it, you can believe it, you can achieve it. And Caitlin, now everybody's going to be able to look up there, and you have been that role model for thousands and thousands of girls and boys across this country. And through it all, you've stayed true to yourself. You've showed why it's wise to invest in women's sport, why it's wise to invest in women. It's not only the right thing to do, but it's the smart thing to do. Caitlin, you may be in Indiana now, but you're always a Hawkeye.
I'll try not to turn this into a yapping session because I can go for a while usually, but I just want to say thank you to everybody that's here today, first of all. It means a lot to me, and I know probably wasn't cheap to get in the door, so I really appreciate you all being here and your support, not only of myself, but this amazing team. And today was incredible, so thank you guys. I appreciate it. And the coaching staff, you guys were awesome too. Their game plan was great, and obviously USC, good luck the rest of the way. I'm a big fan of all of you, and Juju, you were awesome, and Lindsay, you do a great job. So it's fun to be here and watch you guys. I'm pretty overwhelmed right now, but there's just a lot of people to thank. First of all, my teammates, I wouldn't be here without any of you, and a lot of you came back, and you know, you have busy schedules, and I think that just speaks to the culture of this place, you know, so selfless. Like, I know my number's up there, but it wouldn't be if it wasn't for all of you. So to the ones that were my teammates when I was here, I really appreciate you guys, and I love you. My family, you guys have been my rocks. Like, everybody knows I'm a family girl, and that's the main reason I came to Iowa, to stay in a place that I love so much. It was 2 hours from where I grew up. My parents couldn't just show up. I would have a little notice, but it also was close to where I could go back on the weekends and see them. So, you know, it was a hard decision for me when I was coming out of high school to decide where I wanted to play, but I'm pretty lucky enough that I got to play here and play for Coach Bluter, somebody that believed in me probably more than there wasn't many people when I first signed here, when I said I want to take this place to the Final Four, that they kind of laughed at me, and Coach Bluter was literally the only person that agreed with me, thank God, or else we probably wouldn't be here, but I'm just very lucky and fortunate, so I appreciate all of you and my family over here. I love you guys, and I appreciate you being here. I know the Pacers Sport and Entertainment. Give it up for the Fever. We're playing a game right here, baby. Woo! We're coming to town. You better save up, because I bet it's going to be pretty expensive, but we'll see what we can do. But honestly, I couldn't imagine getting drafted to a better franchise, a place that, just like Iowa, invests in women's sports and has allowed me to thrive. So just really lucky and fortunate to be there. And, you know, hopefully year 2 is even better than year 1, and I know it will be. We got some good players. We got a good coach. She's probably hiding over there somewhere. I don't know where you're at, Steph, but thanks for being here. But honestly, to all the people that have just poured into me over the course of my career, from the people that don't get any recognition, from our media team to our managers, all of you that have given so much of yourselves to allow me to be who I am, thank you. I can't say it enough, and I wouldn't be here without all of you. So I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to be back in here and play another game in front of you all. So thank you for being here. I love you guys, and I'm glad I'm going to be able to get to do it again, so thank you.
What a special scene and a phenomenal afternoon there in Carver Hawkeye Arena as Caitlin Clark sees her jersey number 22 raised to the rafters. She's the best to ever wear that number, and now they guarantee she will be the last to wear that number.
Such an incredible scene, and I think maybe